Hello everyone, today I thought I would sit down and talk to you guys about how to choose the right university for you. And before we get into it, I want to say this video has kindly been sponsored by the app UniCompare, which, as you can guess by the title, is an app you can use to help you kind of sort through all your different uni options and find which one is best for you. But I'll be talking more about what they can offer for you later in this video. So yeah, anyway, I thought I'd make a video just talking to you about kind of how to narrow down unis and find ones which kind of suit you best, because I know this time last year when I started looking at unis, it's quite overwhelming because there's so many options, you don't really know where to start. So hopefully this video can help you guys in picking the right university. So before you start picking out your universities, the first thing you need to do is know which course you're interested in. And I am going to be making a separate video about how to find the right course for you, because that is quite a big topic. But yeah, so in order to pick the right university, you need to have at least a rough idea of the sort of course you want to do, because obviously not all unis offer all the same courses, so obviously that narrows down your options straight away if you know what course you want to do. Along the same lines as course, if you have a certain career in mind, so for instance you want to be a doctor, obviously you're going to be looking at studying medicine, so that kind of works in the same way as picking out your course if you have a career in mind. But as I said, I will talk more about that in a separate video. But anyway, so the key starting point for a uni is course. However, if you don't know, that is fine, because I actually found out what course I wanted to do kind of by accident. So I visited Oxford Brookes University this time last year when I was in year 12, and I actually went to look at digital media production, and when I was there I kind of found that that probably wasn't really the course for me, and I did see their architecture kind of segment of the school, if that makes sense, and that kind of is what got me more interested in architecture, because I saw kind of their show of architecture and thought, yeah, that appeals to me. So don't be put off if you don't know what course you want to do. You can still start looking at universities, because you can still get a good idea of what you want to do, like kind of by accident really, if you're not sure, if that makes sense. So on the UniCompare app, if you do know what course you want to do, it's really simple, because you can just put in the search bar the course you want to do. So obviously I'd say architecture, I can put that in and then it gives me a full list of all the universities in the UK that offer that course. So as I said, if you don't know what you want yet and you don't really want to narrow down your options too much, you can literally just see a full list of all of the universities. I think it's in alphabetical order, and you can just scroll through and have a look, and then if there is one that appeals to you, you can click on it, find out more about things like the employment rate, student satisfaction, and one thing I really like about the app is they actually include kind of like student reviews of the uni. So even if they're not doing your specific course, it can give you a good idea of how students find the uni as a whole. So that's a really helpful feature that I think the app has, which I think could be really useful to you guys as well. So if you have found your course and you want to narrow down your uni options quite a bit, because I think when I searched architecture there was like 500 results. Obviously if you're going to go through every uni, you're going to be sat there for hours. One good way to narrow them down is that the app does have the ability to put in your predicted grades, so obviously that will help you narrow down unis in terms of UCAS points to see where realistically you can look to going to. So obviously I'm not an A-star student, I was predicted I think BBC, so that did obviously limit my options more, especially for something like architecture, as a lot of the top universities are looking for like A-stars and things like maths and stuff. But as I say, I still managed to find a uni that offers it, so don't be put off if you don't have like really high predicted grades. So once you've been able to narrow down your unis by adding things like your grades, a really good feature about the app is that you can favourite certain unis. So if you look in mine, you'll see I've got things like the University of Lincoln and the University of Gloucester, as they're actually my firm and insurance choices. So it's a really good way to kind of keep track of all the unis that you found that you like, because obviously if you're going through a lot of unis, it's really easy to forget a certain one. So that's a really good feature, just to keep track of all of the unis you really like, that you can come back to later to maybe look up more information about them and stuff like that. Another feature that I think is quite important when you're picking your uni is how close to home it is. Obviously I think this varies person to person, but if you are someone who does get quite homesick and stuff, you're obviously not going to want to pick a uni that's hours and hours away, because then you might struggle more, because you obviously wouldn't see your family as much. So when I picked Lincoln, this works out really well, because it's only about an hour away for me, so I'll still be able to like go home and stuff on the weekends. So on the UniCompare app, you can put in whereabouts you are located regionally in the UK. So if you are quite concerned about being close to home, that's a really good way to narrow down your options and make sure you are still quite local to home and stuff, if that's something that does kind of interest you. So as I said, if you do find a uni that does interest you, on the app you can also find out more about the uni, which is a really useful thing because basically you can click on this in the app and it will take you to the uni's website so you can find out more. And another feature which they've recently added, which I think is super helpful, is that you can actually find out what grants they have to offer, because obviously going to uni is an expensive commitment. So if a certain uni has like certain grants that you'd be able to apply for to help you with your finances, that is quite a big factor in helping you with your uni experience. So as I say, all of the courses on the UniCompare app, you can go through and see what grants they have. So that's a really useful feature that I think could be useful to everyone. And I did want to just mention before I forgot, as I was saying about courses, if you're not sure what course you want to do, one feature I really like about the app is that you can look at trending courses. So you can just see what the most popular courses are and maybe look into those to give you a good like start to see if you're interested in kind of maths, science, things like that. So right now the trending courses on the app are law, medicine, sports science and psychology. So obviously if one of those sounds interesting to you, that's a good way to have a look and then maybe narrow down your search from there. So as I said, I started out looking at architecture, then also from there found out about landscape architecture, which is also something I was interested in. So it is a good way to kind of just branch out and a good starting point to find which course would suit you. And then from there, as I said, you can look at unis. Another feature which is really handy on the UniCompare app is that they have a chat section. So basically you can join a group chat about like your subject, for instance. So if you're, from what I can see, there's like a big economics group on here. So if you are looking at studying economics, it'd be really handy to join that group because you can talk to other students about where you're applying to, like what issues you're having, how you find exams that you've done and stuff. So it is a really handy feature to also potentially get to know other people who will be going to the uni that you want to go to. And along with that, there are also just general chats about things like music. So it's also a really good way just to get to know other students and make friends. So that is a really handy feature that I think everyone should have a good go at, because honestly I've already joined group chats for Lincoln even though I'm not starting until September, because getting to know people before you go kind of eases the pressure when you're there of like making friends and stuff. So I really would encourage you all to at least join like group chats and stuff because it's a really good way to get to know other students. As I mentioned before, once you've found unis that you like, you should also book open days, and there is an entire section on the UniCompare app where you can literally just book open days. So you can search for the uni that you maybe want to look at, or just put in your course and it'll bring up all the potential open days coming up. And honestly, if you're in like year 12, I would 100% recommend starting now, because I went to Oxford Brookes back in June last year, and you will find that the open days are obviously a lot quieter if you go earlier in the year. So if you start going in like June of year 13, obviously those are going to be really busy because they're kind of the last ones before September. So if you do want to kind of get in there early and basically have more time to kind of talk to the lecturers and things like that, I'd 100% recommend trying to get in as early as possible, particularly if there's a lot of unis that you want to look at as well. So the UniCompare app will take you to the University Compare website, and it basically has a big calendar for each month that shows you all of the upcoming open days. So as I say, if you're not really sure where you want to go, you could just have a look, and obviously if there's one nearby to you on like a date that suits you, you could just go along and find out about that university or a course. So that is a really handy feature that I think is really useful. So yeah. So I think that's everything I have to say. I hope this video has been helpful to you guys in helping you maybe get a good idea of how to start in narrowing down your university choices. As I say, I would 100% recommend using the UniCompare app because it allows you to do this really easily, and from there you can order prospectuses, go to open days, and also you can find out like where teaching's best. So there's like gold, silver and bronze teaching standards which show that it's a really good school basically. And if you are interested in the app, it is available to download on all of the app stores. So the iOS App Store, Google Play, Android, it's available on all of them if you are interested. And as I say, I would 100% recommend downloading it because it's been really helpful to me. And if you're just starting your uni search, it will be really helpful to you guys as well. So make sure you do check it out. I will link everything down in the description bar for you guys. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If it was, please do give it a big thumbs up down below because that really helps me out. Also, if you're new, you can subscribe because I make quite a lot of kind of school and university related videos at the moment. So if that is something that was interest you, obviously press that red button down below. But I think that's everything I have to say. So I will see you guys very soon in another video.